Sunday, a shooter went into the Pulse nightclub and fired off hundreds of rounds, killing 49 innocent people and injuring over 50. It was a tragedy which really has touched the heart of America. We came back to the Senate this week and we asked, what are we going to do about it? They said, we're going to have a moment of silence. That's not enough. That's not enough. And so 6 of us on Wednesday decided to take the Senate floor in a filibuster. A filibuster is when you basically take the floor and you don't leave, trying to force the Senate to come to grips with the big issues that face us and to force votes on things that are absolutely essential. It was led by Chris Murphy, the senator from Connecticut, with Cory Booker of New Jersey, Dick Blumenthal of Connecticut, Tammy Baldwin of Wisconsin, myself, and many others decided we were going to make this effort to force the United States Senate to vote on 2 basic issues. And here are the issues. They're pretty easy to understand. What are we going to do in the laws of the United States to stop suspected terrorists from buying assault weapons and other firearms? Are we going to make it tougher for them once they're on this suspect list to buy a gun? Right now, there is no prohibition to stop someone who's on a suspect terrorist list from buying the kind of gun that killed 49 people at that nightclub in Orlando. We may put them on a list, incidentally, because we suspect that they're dangerous, and we keep them off airplanes if we think that they're dangerous too. But there is nothing to stop them from buying these firearms. Do you know what Al-Qaeda leaders and other terrorist groups are advising those who follow their terrible mission in life? Don't talk about airplanes anymore. Go out and buy these guns. And it addresses the second issue. We know that there are gaps in the background check law in the United States. We know that many people are stopped from purchasing firearms, but still thousands, in fact 40% of all firearms are sold without any background check. So why is that important? It's important. I just left Superintendent Johnson at the Chicago Police Department. It's important because 40% of the crime guns confiscated in the high crime areas of Chicago are purchased at gun shows in northern Indiana, brought across the border, sold to the gangbangers in this city who spray these neighborhoods with bullets, killing their gang enemies, but also killing innocent people, grandmothers and children and little girls sitting at the table doing their homework at home. 40% of those guns come from those gun shows in northern Indiana. Why? No background check. Walk in there, purchase as many guns as you wish, fill up the trunk of your car, drive across the border into Chicago, wait till it gets dark and start selling. And that's what's going on right now. So the second part of our bill closed this background check gap, this loophole that allows these sales at gun shows as well as on the internet without a background check. Those are the 2 things that we're demanding votes on. At the end of 15 hours, the Republican leadership said we'll give you those votes on Monday. We're looking forward to them. What is the likelihood of passing those? Not very strong, I'm sorry to tell you. Not very strong. At best, 4 of the 54 Republicans have supported our efforts to do these things in the past. We can only hope that what's happened in Orlando, what happened in Newtown, Connecticut, what is happening literally across America, almost on a daily or weekly basis, will convince more of them to cross and join us and put together a bipartisan effort to keep our streets safe. This isn't the end of this conversation. We're not just going to have this action on the floor of the United States Senate every time there's a mass murder. Sadly, that's very frequently, but we're not going to wait. We're going to continue to press this issue.
What happened in Orlando this last week was indeed tragic, but we have incidents of terrorism in our communities in Chicago every day. And so anything that can be done to tighten up the gun laws, to require background checks, to get these weapons off of our streets is important. And so I wanted to be here today. I'm sure other colleagues of mine in the City Council would have been here today too, Senator Durbin, to say that we support you and we support this effort. And we just encourage people to begin to speak out about this. We can be concerned about ISIS over in another land, but we need to be concerned about the national security issues that we have right here in our own backyard, right here in our own city of Chicago. And so thank you, I applaud you for the action that you're taking today, and we support you. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Years ago, I was sitting in my classroom learning about the oceans when a gunman burst into my classroom, killing 5 of my classmates, injuring another 21. I was shot twice in that shooting, and ever since then, my life has been changed, and I did not want to see this happen to anyone else. And countless times, over and over again, from Aurora to Newtown to Tucson to every day in our city of Chicago, I see all this gun violence. I fully support the senators and everyone in Congress. Please, please pass these expanded background checks. Please pass the law where we cannot allow terrorists to have these weapons, and we need to stop the illegal gun trafficking from state to state in Chicago and across all the other states. Thank you.
Thanks, Patrick.